right, welcome everyone to Smark Guys. I am Darkside Phil, and with me, as always, is John Rambo.
Take it in. Take it in.
The leader of the
Accept
Rambo.
it. Accept it.
Yes, the Rambo. Today is Saturday, August 10th, 2013. Thank you for joining us here, whether it's on Twitch or on YouTube. A lot to talk about this week, leading into the SummerSlam pay-per-view and also leading into next week's Hardcore Justice. Is it Hardcore Justice that's next week on TNA?
I think so. I don't really know.
I think.
I
So we got a lot to talk about. First of all,
I'm going to change it to Tito Ortiz. The Tito Ortiz 2 hours.
The Tito Ortiz exhibition, 2 hours of mat wrestling.
It's just him working out.
First
shaving
of all,
his head, you know.
Last week we were using a new microphone. This week we're using a new camera. So I apologize for the jarring difference every week, different qualities and things. We're working through it. We're trying to get the equipment set up. We're using a camcorder this week. I actually used this camcorder for Hate Live earlier this week. And besides the colors being slightly off, people seem to like it. I think the colors are a little bit better today. They're not perfect, but they're still decent. So we're going to get it right. We're going to still... Why did someone say echo?
Is there an echo?
I don't think there is. I think this guy's being a dick.
If you hear an echo, you get to hear me twice, so that's a good thing. So
that's right.
Just roll with it, all right?
Yeah, there's no echo. The color is a little off. We're still tweaking it. We're gonna every time I do a vlog, you're gonna see I'm gonna be tweaking the color, trying to make it a little better. I think this is way better than it was for my Hate Live podcast earlier this week. Anyway, all right, so let's get started because we got a lot to cover this week. We'll start with, as always, Monday Night Raw. Which
did they have that? This happened this week.
What's that?
Raw.
Yeah, they had it.
That.
They did it.
They did have that.
They did have it. So basically, what happened was they tried to do this whole angle where Daniel Bryan is going to have the match, the title match against John Cena at SummerSlam. But the angle is that Daniel Bryan isn't the how can
prototype,
I say?
The cookie cutter mold.
He's not the guy that fits the mold, right? Of the top guy in the company, the guy who can really hold the WWE title and be the leader of the company. So they said they're going to give him a makeover, and so they had this stupid segment where he's putting on suits and they're trimming his hair and all this, and finally comes out in a suit, and of course he doesn't look bad. It's just obviously that's not him. That's not the kind of person he is. He wouldn't be coming out in a business suit. That's not the Daniel Bryan. So then Vince McMahon comes out, and he doesn't really understand. He says, all right, well, this is a good start, but what we really need to do, obviously, is we need to get rid of that beard, because that beard is too much. But, of course, the gimmick is the beard. That's his gimmick right now. So, of all people, he has Wade Barrett come out.
I guess I'm going to get a barber.
It makes no sense.
And I'm thinking Bruce Beefcake's coming out.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, have Bruce Beefcake come out, have an opportunity of something cool. No, it's Wade Barrett, and they go, oh, Wade Barrett's father or grandfather was a barber or something stupid like that. Like, whatever, it's so dumb. So Daniel Bryan, they have a barber's chair. He's in the chair. It looks like Wade Barrett's going to shave him. Of course, he doesn't let him. He attacks him. He knocks Wade Barrett into the chair, and he starts viciously shaving Wade Barrett's beard. They do this stupid angle from time to time, this shaving angle. I never understood it.
Vince does, oh, this is great.
I love shaving.
This hair coming off a body. This is like amazing stuff.
I don't understand it, but so basically Daniel Bryan got the best of Wade Barrett and Vince McMahon by shaving Wade Barrett's face. Okay, sure he did.
It's similar to the CM Punk storyline, like from a while ago, where
right.
He dropped the line, "I'm a wrestler and you're a sports entertainer." And all that stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
It works a lot better for CM Punk, because CM Punk was consistently like the same character for a long time, and like Daniel Bryan, like I feel good for him and everything, but like that's what he did. He did, like in real life, he became the sports entertainer.
Right.
He got a stupid beard. He's doing skits with Anger Management. He's dating a Bella. He's on the Diva show. So in reality, he actually did conform to what the WWE wanted in order to become
that is true.
A top guy. But I don't fault him for that, because he beat himself up for a long time, made probably no money at all.
That's the business. That's pretty much what everyone ends up doing.
But it just kind of rubs me the wrong way to see like an angle like that.
Yeah.
Like you are a sports entertainer now. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, I can understand that. I understand that, and
but I'm glad he's he's at the top of the card there.
For now,
stuff.
We don't know what's going to happen at SummerSlam,
right.
So we'll have to see. Okay, so next segment: Rob Van Dam against Alberto Del Rio in a singles match. Now, just recently, I believe it was on 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, Christian had beaten Alberto Del Rio, like, clean. All right? Now, Rob Van Dam beats Alberto Del Rio clean. So who doesn't beat Alberto Del Rio clean?
He's a heel, and he's a champion. So
A heel champion, he has to lose.
If you're a heel, you always lose. If you're a champion, you always lose. So it's a heel champion. That shit's like, you got tire marks across your body. You're just getting run over, man.
So RVD, and it's a good match. Don't get me wrong. This is a really good match. And I have to say, yet again, another week, RVD puts in 2 really good matches on Raw and SmackDown. I'm rooting for the guy. Like, I want to see him succeed because he's doing so well right now. But how long? People who know RVD's history, we have to say, how long is this going to last? How long will he be in the good graces of the company? You know what I mean?
Like, from what I read, like, you never know if this stuff is true or not. But like, from what's out there, like, there's rumors about his contract.
Yeah,
it's supposed like he works in like 90-day spurts.
Huh.
So he works 90 days, he gets a break, and then he comes back. And it's supposed to be like it's a long-term overall. So we'll see if it works like that. They'll put him in. They're yet to put him in a program,
with
someone.
Right.
It seems like you just float. Oh, you're fighting this dude. You're fighting Fandango.
Right.
Here you go. Here. So we'll see how it works out.
All right. So RVD has a great singles match with Alberto Del Rio. Basically, he wins the match. The end of the match is stupid. All right. So Ricardo Rodriguez, by the way, he returns tonight. It's the first time he's returned in like a month, and he comes back and he interferes in the match, and it ends up like distracting Del Rio, which ends up letting RVD get a roll-up win, okay? So Del Rio flips out and basically completely destroys Rodriguez. He puts his head behind the stairs, and there's a running drop kick into the stairs, so basically squishes his head. It's gross, like, it was just so over the top and so overblown. He could have just slapped him around a little bit. He didn't have to, like, destroy him. So it's obvious that Ricardo obviously isn't going to be with him anymore, but now what are they going to do with him?
Is Ricardo done for good?
Right.
Or is he actually going to come back and do something else?
I don't know. It's very...
Or is it his exit, or is it a new program starting?
Right. I don't know. And the thing is, we know from behind the scenes, Ricardo Rodriguez is actually a wrestler. He's not a ring announcer. He's really a wrestler. But would they actually put him out there as a wrestler because he doesn't have the physique? You know what I mean? It's funny talking about Daniel Bryan not fitting the archetype. Yeah. Look at Ricardo Rodriguez.
He could be a comedy character or something. I don't know.
Oh, no. The new tag team, Ricardo and Santino. Here they are.
With Hornswoggle Khali as the managers.
Oh, my God.
It's a whole stable.
Cody Rhodes calls out Damian Sandow. Really, there's nothing. They're continuing their program. I don't even want to get into it because there's nothing to talk about. It's just they're continuing their program. Mark Henry defeats Ryback in the most boring match ever because it's like 5 seconds. Ryback basically just quits the match and walks away. So I don't know what they're doing with Ryback now. It's like he doesn't even wrestle anymore. Like
only a few months ago, and they had the match at WrestleMania, and
yep.
the roles were reversed.
And that's why we thought that this would be like, oh, it's a rematch, but the roles are reversed. Ryback's the heel, Mark Henry's the face. Nope, no match. Just let him walk out. It's like, what?
Yeah, I don't like. They've been doing that lately. Like Fandango does that, and it doesn't really like help anybody.
No, it's worthless. All it is, it builds you up because then you're going to see a match, and then you're like, well, back to the fucking.
It doesn't really put heat on the guy.
Back to the Pizza Hut and fucking Subway and Popeyes ads.
They think it puts heat on the dude that walks out.
Yeah,
really
it doesn't.
It just makes you go, that guy's a puss.
It's just annoying. It's just really annoying. All right, so John Cena comes out and addresses the WWE Universe. He says, oh, Daniel Bryan says that he's a wrestler and I'm an entertainer. Well, he's right. And by the way, Daniel Bryan said that if I were to lose my job, that I wouldn't wrestle again. And the truth is, yes, that is true, because I love WWE so much I would never wrestle for another company like he did. And the truth is that he loves his indie scene so much because back then he couldn't make it in the WWE. Basically, he insults Daniel Bryan. So it was almost like a heelish promo. Like, from what I could tell, it was like a real heelish promo. So then Randy Orton comes out with the briefcase, and he's like, you're so worried about Daniel Bryan. You should stop worrying about Daniel Bryan because I'm the one with the money in the bank, and I might cash it in at SummerSlam, and I will become the new champion. So then all of a sudden, the Shield comes out. And they're going to attack them in the ring, right? So then that prompts Daniel Bryan to come out. And so now it's 3-on-3, and the Shield backs off. They don't want a fair fight. And it's announced that the main event of the night is going to be the Shield against these guys in a 6-man tag match. Okay?
Wow.
Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, who are the Wyatt family, completely decimate Tons of Funk. And I actually like that. I like the fact that I mean, Tons of Funk, who cares? But I like that they took two big guys. They just pummeled the shit out of them. Like, I remember at one point, Brodus was going for a move, and I don't know their names yet, so I can't tell you who it was. But the guy who's not the redhead, but the brunette.
The bald one?
No, not the bald one. The guy with the darker
Harper.
hair. He fucking did a wicked spear on him. It was like boom, and for Brodus, like, that had to fucking hurt. You know what I mean?
That guy's really big, but he moves very quick.
Yeah, he was fast. He just hit him with. I was like, whoa, that was a good move. So it was a quick squash match, but it was a good way to put the Wyatts over.
He used to have matches with like small Japanese dudes, and he would keep up with the pace of the match and everything. And
right.
He's good.
All right, so after last week where Layla turned heel, they decided to have a singles match between Layla and Kaitlyn. So they're having their match, and during the match, AJ comes out, distracts Kaitlyn, causes or allows Layla to basically do her kick to Kaitlyn's face. I guess that's her finisher now, kick. And she wins the match. So Layla gets a 1-up on Kaitlyn. Christian defeats Heath Slater. We're just going to skip that one. CM Punk has a match with Curtis Axel. All right? So they're having a pretty good match. And then near the end of the match, Paul Heyman comes back out because Paul Heyman was out there, but then he ran to the back because he was afraid that CM Punk was going to attack him. But then during the match, he comes back out. And then finally, at the end of the match, Brock Lesnar comes out and basically beats the living shit out of CM Punk again. So this is twice in a row now.
Yeah, Brock's not very good, and he botched again and split CM Punk open.
Yeah, he did.
A bunch of stitches, and I'm sure it'll happen again at the match.
It was the chair, right? The chair shot?
I think he was he gave him a headbutt or something.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he does that.
So he botches.
If anybody else did that, they'd be like, "You're done." But he comes in, he hurts people, and
that's what they pay him for.
Pay him lots of money,
To fuck up.
Yeah.
All right, so
he's great.
So whatever. The build up to
matches aren't very good that he has.
No, I don't know how this. I'm worried about the SummerSlam match. I am because this.
Punk's gonna bust his ass. He's gonna work hard. He's gonna take some crazy bumps.
Yeah. And Brock will probably win.
Brock probably, yeah.
Brock will probably win.
Yeah, I think he will.
Stupid. Kofi Kingston. Wow, I can't believe this, John. I'm talking about Kofi Kingston in a wrestling match. He actually had a match, and he actually won. He beat Fandango.
Did you do the SOS punch, the SOS kick?
Yes. Yes, he did. He did the boom punch, the spinning boom kick,
the boom toss,
the flying boom crossbody,
boom headlock.
So Kofi, it's cool because he goes for the Trouble in Paradise and Fandango dodges it, and they have like a little exchange, and then all of a sudden he does it like super fast, knocks him out, gets the win. So Kofi, obviously they're putting him into a program, and that's good to see him back wrestling instead of on fucking commentary, which he was for like the past 3 months. No, actually since WrestleMania, actually. So we're talking April, May, June, July.
Yeah, he was injured.
He was hurt.
But I don't know if the whole time he was.
It's good to see him back. It is, because he's a good performer. I like
Where's Evan Bourne? We need to bring back the tag team.
Oh, my God. Whatever happened to him? Oh, my God.
The tag team they used to have, which was... I don't remember the name.
I don't think you'll ever see him again on WWE
Air Boom.
TV.
Is that what it's called? Air Boom?
Air Boom. All right. So, anyway, the Real Americans have a singles match against the Usos. And surprisingly enough, the Real Americans actually win this by landing the neutralizer. And I was surprised because the Usos have been on a roll, that they have them on every show, and I thought that this was going to be another way to build them up a little bit. But they actually had them lose a match clean, which I was surprised. Maybe they're going to, maybe instead of doing the Usos against the Shield over and over, maybe what they're going to do is have them go against the Real Americans a few times to try to legitimize the tag division and then go back against the Shield. I don't know. But it was a pretty good match, and I liked the match. Big E Langston has a singles match with Dolph Ziggler. This whole angle is just going off the rails at this point. Like, are they ever going to get rid of this stupid angle?
Big E's so good. Come on. What do you mean?
So they're having a match. It's a pretty decent match. I mean, Big E's doing what he can with his limited abilities. Being that he's green. I mean, I'm not faulting him. He's green. Like, they haven't really given him a lot of matches where he's had a chance to really do much. And the matches that he has always have stupid endings. And once again, this is no exception, right? So he's having a match with Dolph, and it's a pretty decent match. And then AJ gets involved, which causes Dolph to get distracted. And then Kaitlyn comes out, because Kaitlyn, remember, earlier in the night had lost her match against Layla because of AJ's involvement. So now you got Kaitlyn and AJ fighting in the ring, and Dolph's like, what the hell is this? So he's trying to get them out of the ring, and of course he gets attacked from behind by Big E Langston, loses the match. And it's like, I just hate this angle. I hate the Caitlyn, AJ, Big E, Dolph whole angle. I hate it at this point. I'm so tired of the AJ stupid love triangle nonsense with every fucking wrestler on the roster. And I just want to see them get back to wrestling, and enough with this nonsense. And Dolph was on a roll. Dolph was at a head of steam. They made him a face.
Yeah,
Everything was in his favor.
They did something really great, and they turned him.
Yeah.
Double turn, which is really hard to do. It's a risky move. They pulled it off. People were high. They want to see him, versus Del Rio, and it's like...
Right.
Del Rio's fighting his teammates. He's fighting Ricardo. And then Ziggler's still battling his dude. It's not like him and Big E were together for, like, an AJ. It was like a couple months?
A couple months since, like, the beginning of the year.
It wasn't like they were together for, like, so long, and that this is, like, an emotional battle. It's
right.
like, my friends are against me now. It's like, who cared? No one cared in the first place, really. So.
I just don't know. I hate the angle. And we're going to talk about on SmackDown, they set up the SummerSlam match, which is terrible. Wait till you hear this match they're going to have. Oh. All right, and then the main event of Raw, as we said earlier, was John Cena, Randy Orton, and Daniel Bryan against The Shield in a six-man tag. Pretty typical, what you would expect from these guys. They're all hitting their spots. The Shield, as usual, doing well. But it breaks down near the end, where the Shield basically, they cheat, and so the ref disqualifies them. So everyone's fighting everyone in the ring. Some of the Shield get thrown out of the ring. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Randy Orton RKO's Daniel Bryan, which was like, what the hell? So then it's John Cena and Randy Orton having like a stare down. But then the Shield come back in the ring. They fight off the Shield. They turn around. Randy Orton RKO's John Cena. So now it's like they're really, really, really teasing that Randy Orton is going to be cashing in at SummerSlam. Like, this is like extremely strong now that they're teasing he's going to do it.
Yeah, but just the way I look at it, it's like they feel like they're not. It doesn't seem like they're behind Daniel Bryan that much.
No.
Because they have to be like, oh, Orton might come out. So,
right.
Like, he's not enough to sell the match.
All right, so they have to put someone else into the mix.
And then anytime Vince gets involved with something, it's always like, oh, I'm going to get this over. Even though he actually, I think, diluted the whole thing.
Yeah.
A lot of times he's going over, he's putting down Daniel Bryan, his physical attributes and stuff like that.
Right.
So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like how it's playing out, honestly.
I don't either, and I'm worried about the match now at SummerSlam. Because the two matches I was looking forward to the most, Brock versus CM Punk, and now this one, now I'm worried about both of them.
Brock and CM Punk will be good. I mean, I kind of crapped on it before, but I think if you like that, they let them go, like they let Lesnar go. They'll have one of those hard-hitting brawls that you only see rarely.
Right.
So if you like that, it'll be good. I just don't think Brock's all that great.
Right. No, I agree.
And the Daniel Bryan Cena match could still be good. It's just the way that they're pushing it sucks.
The way they're pushing is terrible.
But it could still
they're
turn out to
basically
be
de-pushing it and putting the focus on Orton rather than on the match itself.
And if the way it's constructed, if Daniel Bryan loses, he really looks terrible.
Right.
Because that's just gonna be like, oh, you are that small runt that doesn't belong.
Go back to the bingo hall.
Right.
All right. So SmackDown. First of all, for whatever reason, Vicky Guerrero was barely on. She was in like one segment, which I didn't understand because she's been on so heavily these past few weeks, and she was like barely on the show.
That's a terrible shame.
Well, anyway, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but still, this was kind of odd if they're pushing that she's the GM or whatever. But anyway, Randy Orton and Rob Van Dam opened the show with a singles match, which was another, once again, I gotta say, Rob Van Dam, great match, looks great. It's funny because now they are. Remember how I was saying he looks the same, he hasn't changed? They're actually now calling him the ageless Rob Van Dam. They call him that now, the commentators. It's like he's ageless. He looks the same. He looks the same as he always
has.
He's
been preserved by
what the hell?
A room of smoke.
Yeah, he's in his hydroponic chamber at home.
He comes to the arena in that. It's like a coffin.
They ship him to the arena,
and then he's like, opens his smoke in it.
Shh, he comes
out.
Sarcophagus.
He just pops out.
Oh my god! So great match. Absolutely great match. Both guys putting on a great show. And lots of reversals, lots of, Again, I mentioned this last week. I said the triple threat match they had for the number one contender spot is good because you had 3 ring veterans and they know each other so well that they can interact with each other's movesets and stuff. Same thing here. They know each other so well. They've wrestled many times that they know the moves. They can actually, reversals and things that you wouldn't expect in a match like this. And that match ends where RVD hits the Rolling Thunder, goes for the 5-star frog splash, and in traditional Randy Orton fashion, All of a sudden, absolutely out of nowhere, rolls out of the way, RKO, I win. Even though he's dead in the ring, he recovers instantly, hits with the RKO. Randy Orton wins. So once again, Randy Orton full of head of steam heading into SummerSlam. Looks like
chemicals and who knows what else.
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
A wellness test.
Well, yeah, you know.
I'm sure he's okay.
All right, so now this is the segment that I just like. I'm groaning. I'm like, oh my god. All right. So Miz TV. First of all, they're saying the Miz.
Right there. It's just no.
They're not giving the Miz a match at SummerSlam. They've pretty much made abundantly clear they don't want this guy to wrestle.
He's not on the pre-show.
He's not on the pre-show.
He's on the pre-show to the parking lot before the show starts.
The Miz is the official host of SummerSlam. He's the host. All right? I don't know what the fuck that means, but he's the host of SummerSlam. All right? So he does Miz TV on SmackDown, and he calls out AJ Lee and Biggie Langston. And he says, what is the true nature of your relationship? I want to know. And AJ says, oh, he's like my best friend. And so Miz goes,
no.
Yeah, Miz goes, oh, good job, friend zone, buddy.
Oh,
good
no.
job for you, Big E. Right? So it's very odd, this whole segment. And then during the segment, Dolph Ziggler comes out, and he's like, oh, God, we're tired of hearing from you. Blah, blah. Then Caitlyn comes out, and she's like, oh, we don't want to hear from AJ. And it's just the dumbest segment. And so finally, now this is what's really weird. Okay? So, The Miz is the host of SummerSlam. Takes it upon himself and says, well, since I'm the host of SummerSlam, I pretty much have power to do whatever I want. And everyone's like, what? He goes, I'm going to make a match. What? This is what I said. It was so weird. Vicky Guerrero, like, why is she allowing this weird shit?
Show.
The match is going to be Dolph Ziggler and Caitlyn versus AJ and Biggie Langston in a mixed tag at SummerSlam. And the whole crowd's like, oh, come on. Like, why? We don't want to see this match. We're tired of the angle. Just end this so that Dolph can get on to better stuff. Seriously. But, I don't know. They're going to have this terrible match.
What does Biggie think about the friend thing? Was he upset with that?
It was so odd because he didn't react. He was just like there with his usual, angry stone face. And you couldn't tell if he was upset, if he was okay. Like, you couldn't tell anything.
And I love how, like, Miz will insult people and they just stand there and listen to him.
Yeah, they don't care.
Like, they're like,
oh, well.
Yeah, like, they don't care, or they're, like, afraid of Miz. Like, he's gonna, like, he'd be tough if they, like, approached him about this.
Right.
He would kick their ass.
So that's the match is announced. Of course, then it breaks into a fight. Caitlyn starts attacking AJ. Big E grabs Caitlyn, so that prompts Dolph to do his finisher to Big E. Then Caitlyn spears AJ, and so it's like, I don't care. Whatever. Let's just move on. It's gonna be a bad match. Fandango now has a rematch against Kofi Kingston and wins. And it's pretty much a very similar match to the one from Monday. These guys, I have to say, they're both pretty good.
Has Kofi Kingston ever won 2 matches in a row?
I don't know. It's a good question.
It seems like what they do with him, they put him in a program and, like, he'll just win and lose. And when it doesn't, like, when he was the champion too, like when he was the U.S. champion or whatever, it's the same thing.
Right. He always gets a win and then
they'll lose the next one. They just keep doing it.
So it's obvious they're doing this to build up a program between him and Fandango. They want to have a.
It'll never actually end, though, I think.
It'll constantly just keep going.
It'll just keep going.
Back and forth.
And then they'll both just disappear. That's what happens.
All right, so Fandango wins this one clean, by the way. I do want to mention that. It wasn't like he, cheated or anything. He actually gets a legit win on Kofi with his leg drop finisher. So now it's 1-1. It's obvious probably this week they'll have a rubber match, and then maybe it'll build up something for SummerSlam. Maybe they'll have a match. We'll have to see. Daniel Bryan has a singles match against Wade Barrett. Feeding off of what happened on Monday with Barrett trying to shave Daniel Bryan's beard. So Wade Barrett comes out with a fucking razor. It's so stupid.
It's new
razor.
It's his new gimmick.
Yeah, it should be the barber Barrett or something.
Yeah, it's just gonna become.
So they have a match. It's a decent match. Daniel Bryan ends up winning, and then he grabs. He grabbed. It was funny because Barrett grabbed a razor. He was gonna shave off Bryan's beard, but at the end of the match, Bryan's pissed. So after he wins, he takes the razor and he stomps on it and destroys it. It's so dumb. I'll destroy this razor. How dare you, So this is the man who's going to have a main event match at SummerSlam. Right. He's a wrestler, but he's destroying razors. This is what he's doing as the build-up to SummerSlam. Okay. Damian Sandow has a new briefcase. So because his briefcase is destroyed because it got thrown into the Gulf of Mexico, he has a new briefcase that's made of bronze, It's the silliest thing. It's like a completely bronze briefcase. It's obvious that there's going to be him and Cody are eventually going to have matches and programs and stuff. It's really dumb. Then it's announced that this Ring of Fire match is going to happen at SummerSlam. All right, what it's going to be, apparently, there's this weird rule set. It's not an Inferno match. So I want to make that abundantly clear. This is the TV PG era of WWE. It's not an Inferno match. This is going to be a Ring of Fire match, which means that the ring will be surrounded by flames so that no one can interfere in the singles match between Kane and Bray Wyatt. Thank you. So it's going to be Bray against Kane, and the other Wyatt family members will be outside of the flames.
Well, I'm sure the flames will definitely prevent them from interfering.
Because no one's heard of water before, to stop the flames. Yeah. They will be completely surrounded and protected from interference. Yes. So this is a match that's going to take place at SummerSlam. I don't know why, but it's going to take place at SummerSlam.
People seem to be excited about this.
I think because they want to see Bray. They want to see, I don't know what his real name is, But
Rotunda.
What is it?
He's one of the Rotunda brothers.
Oh, yeah? Rotunda? Okay.
Dolph Dallas is his brother.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they want to see him in action. They want to see him in a singles match against Kane. People are really liking the Wyatt family angle. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll be simulating that next week. That'll be fun because we're just going to do an Inferno match, basically. So we'll see what happens with that. Brock Lesnar cuts what some people are saying a really good promo, okay? Of course it's scripted. He didn't really say any of this, but the promo basically...
everything to do is scripted.
Well, yeah.
Everybody's scripted there.
The promo basically entails that his feud with CM Punk is not just because CM Punk is angry at Paul Heyman, and so Brock is Paul Heyman's muscle. He's mad that for the past several years, CM Punk's been calling himself the best in the world because he thinks he's the best in the world. And so when they say that this match is the best versus the Beast, that it's nonsense because the Beast is the best and he is the Beast, so he's the best, and so the best is the best, and he's better than the best.
Hey, he's the best. He fought John Cena, lost, and then 2 questionable matches with Triple H.
Three matches,
actually. Was it 3? Yeah, it was 3. Hey, he's the best, obviously.
He's the best.
I think, yeah, based on that body work right there, he's the best.
So that was the promo.
And he beat up some of the announcers.
Right.
Backstage. Josh Matthews, he threw him into a wall.
Yes.
He's the best.
He's the best.
Yes.
Okay. And then, speaking of how when the heel is a champion, they have to lose 100 times, guess who Del Rio lost to this week? Christian, again. Another clean win for Christian. And Del Rio can't believe it. He's flipping out after the match. He's like, no. He's like throwing shit. He's like, he can't believe that it was a 3 count.
My destiny.
He's like, this is bullshit. I can't believe I lost, blah, blah, blah.
Don't worry, Alberto. You'll win at SummerSlam, dude.
Yeah. So it's pretty obvious that, they're building up Christian just so that he's going to get deflated at SummerSlam. I would be insanely surprised if Christian actually wins the title at SummerSlam. Like, I would be beyond surprised. I'd probably piss and shit myself if he actually won.
It'd be cool, but he's a placeholder, even the way he won. Like Orton gave the RKO to RVD, and then Christian just rolled him up, right? Was that pretty much how?
Yes, that's
so
right.
It was even he stole the win and shit, and
right.
If they're really behind someone, they actually win.
I agree.
That's how they usually do it.
Let's say.
What's happening here?
I'm getting the Impact results. I
Are you
forgot
for
to
the
bring
nip
them
slip
up.
again from last week?
Yes, I'm bringing up the nip slip. What was that? August 8th.
We will stream it. It will be streamed live for everyone.
Because Impact this week was hit or miss. I have to admit.
I did not even watch. I don't. It's cool that they're on the road a lot now, or they have been on the road. But what they're doing is they do one live show and then the next one's taped. So they do 2 in the same building, 2 shows out of the same building.
Right.
And the tape shows always seem to be a little lackluster. So I pretty much just watch the live one. So I watch every other week for TNA.
So TNA this week, next week they're going to have their pay-per-view, which it isn't. It's just a special event on TV, Hardcore Justice. And there is going to be a title match between Chris Sabin and Bully Ray. The rematch, basically. And it's funny because there's been hinting for the past few weeks there's going to be some weird stipulation, and finally it came to fruition this week. Brooke Hogan announced that Apparently, Bully Ray didn't read his contract well.
Hogan.
Because, yeah, I know. Okay. All of a sudden, you didn't read the contract because here's a stipulation you didn't know about. If Bully Ray loses this match,
he can never have.
He can never have a title shot again.
That's what they do.
Exactly what they did with Sting several months ago.
Why is that even? Okay.
So, does this mean that he's probably going to win the title? Probably, I would think. He's probably going to win it back from Sabin, which is unfortunate because Sabin, I would like him to have a title run, but I guess not. Whatever. So some of the matches from the night. We had Jeff Hardy against Samoa Joe in a Bound for Glory series match. Very good match. I didn't like the ending, where Anderson's on commentary.
Oh, you get distraction, whatever.
All he does is this. And because he's standing, Joe loses. Joe, whoa, he stood up? I'm distracted.
Yeah, well, Joe was also afraid when Tito Ortiz came out the week before.
Yeah,
that's true. He was so upset that he couldn't believe he was stomping around the ring. Oh, fuck.
So,
this guy's here. I'm screwed.
It's so dumb. So Joe gets distracted, loses the match to Jeff, and now he's pissed at Anderson. I believe at one point, both Bully Ray and Kurt Angle confront Tito Ortiz, who's there supposedly to announce why he's in TNA to begin with, and he's going to explain everything.
Promote his MMA match.
He explains absolutely nothing. He comes and says, I don't have many answers for you yet. Probably because the guy who writes these plot lines didn't figure it out yet. But I'll have answers for you next week at Hardcore Justice, okay? So both Angle and Bully Ray come out. Angle basically comes out and he says, listen, I respect you for what you've done in the MMA world, but this is the pro wrestling world. So understand, this is my house. So as long as you stay out of my way, I'll stay out of yours. And Tito actually respects that, says okay. But then Bully Ray comes out and approaches it a different way. He basically says, if you bother me, I'm going to slap your face. So it's like the two different approaches. One is more of respect, one is disrespect. So, interesting to see that.
He's there to promote the MMA match. He's going to have.
Right.
If I had to guess, he's probably going to be some sort of like a ref or an enforcer or something during like if they do some sort of showdown match with like Nates and the Mafia.
Right.
He'll probably be involved in as a in-between or something. That's what I would think.
Right.
So...
the next Bound for Glory series match of the night was Mr. Anderson against Magnus in a singles match. And it was a good match. The ending was stupid. The ending was that Bobby Roode comes out with a steel chair and whacks Anderson with it, causing Anderson to win the match by disqualification. So basically what Roode is doing is he's pissing off everyone who he doesn't like.
He's causing a stir.
And that's what they're saying is that, Bobby Roode is back to the old Roode where he used to do this stuff all the time and now he's doing it again. It's like, okay, if you just call being an asshole what he used to be, okay, he's an asshole again, I guess. Okay.
There's a new alliance with Kaz and Daniels, right?
Well, yes, and we're going to talk about that. That was later on in the show. Let's see here. Stupid backstage nonsense. I'm not even going to talk about Robbie E. and Jesse yet. Terrible. Let's see here. All right, that's the Tito Ortiz segment. All right. James Storm and Gunner, who are the TNA Tag Team Champions, even though they haven't had a match in like a month, right? By the way, did you know that they have a name now?
No.
They're called the Gunstorm.
No.
Yeah, I know. Oh, my God. So they team up with ODB for a six-man tag match against Mickie James, Robbie E., and Jesse. Oh. Oh. What is it? The bromans?
Bromance.
The bromans? Oh,
That's
my God.
the joke, because it sounds like bromance.
It's the terrible fucking... Oh, it's so stupid. Anyway, the faces win, and apparently there's still an issue between Gail Kim and ODB, so it's building up like they may have another match, especially after their double DQ.
That's the best storyline they got going right now.
Now, this
is the knockouts.
This was interesting. I liked what they did here, because last week they announced that there was going to be a Bound for Glory series match between Chris Daniels and Kazarian. And they were building up all night. All night. It was promo after promo.
These guys are great, by the way.
About this.
Anytime they're on the mic, it's just awesome. You can tell that they're not scripted.
Right.
Something WWE doesn't do. You see that they're just improvising, flying off the cuff. It's entertaining to watch, and they're really great. I enjoy them quite a bit.
And the promos, all night they were cutting promos, and basically the promos were like, we used to be a team, but this is about us now, and, it's we really don't trust each other. This is messed up that we're going up against each other. And you would have Daniels would insult Kazarian, and then Kazarian would insult Daniels. And it was really good. And then what they did with the match I thought was funny as hell, the way that they did it. So they have a legit match. They're actually wrestling each other, all right? And then all of a sudden, after like 5 minutes of wrestling each other, they both walk outside the ring and get double counted out. So technically, no one wins, but I guess if you get a count-out victory,
you get points.
You get points. So basically, they gamed the system and found a way for them to both get points out of the match. So they both got points out of it, and then Bobby Roode comes out again with a steel chair. They're like, oh shit, what's he going to do? Is he going to whack them? And he basically says, listen. He grabs a mic. He says, listen. In this whole Bound for Glory series, all anyone's talking about is the main event Mafia and the Aces and Eights, and no one really cares about us. It's like, we're the three guys, we don't have any affiliation, and we're tired of it. We're tired of being overlooked. It's time for the Bound for Glory series to become about us now. So from now on, we're going to basically find ways to screw everyone over so that we get all the points and they get screwed, and it's going to be one of us that wins this series, period. And that was pretty cool. I like that angle because I think it puts a little bit more of a rub on the Bound for Glory matches now. We're going to see how they build up, and how are they going to interfere with every match and screw things over? Is it really going to work out? Will this now become maybe a triple threat between Aces and Eights and the main event Mafia and these three? I don't know. It's interesting, though. I like this. I like this. I like this angle.
I like all three guys involved are really good, so...
Right.
If they let them do what they could do. Like, they're great wrestlers, they're great on the mic, they're great characters. So, it should work. We shall see. If they're like jobbing next week, if like all three of them get their asses kicked by a Tito or something, then, it's not going to be good. But.
So, the main event of the night was Team 3D.
Yeah.
Returning. They haven't had a match, just the two of them, in a while, versus Chris Sabin and Kurt Angle with Sting in their corner. Now, the way that this worked was that it was supposed to be Chris Sabin all night was teasing he was going to pick a member of the main event Mafia to be in his corner for this match, but they never really explained what it was going to be. So he comes out, and it was actually Sabin and Sting were coming out together, and then all of a sudden, as Sting was about to get in the ring, Kurt Angle got in the ring from behind and attacked Team 3D. So it was kind of a way for the main event Mafia to get the one-up on Team 3D. And it was a really good match. Team 3D, as you know, they've been together for so long. I mean, these guys are like clockwork. Their spots are dead on. They know how to work. Kurt Angle, I mean, obviously. And then, of course, Chris Sabin has been around TNA for so long.
Oh, yeah.
Great match. Absolutely great match. And it ends up, I believe, with the faces going over, which is leading, obviously, with a build into Hardcore Justice next week. But as we've already said, because they got this new stupid stipulation with Bully Ray, obviously Bully Ray's, like you said, he's one of the best heels in the business right now. And do you really want to have your best heel in the business lose this match and then find out he can never have a title match again?
Does he not get a shot against Sabin again, or he just never gets a shot ever?
No, it's the Sting stipulation. He never gets a shot ever again.
Unless they do something where it's like he loses and then him and Sting have a match, and the winner can then be reinstated.
Oh my God!
Or something.
Yeah, that person could then have a title match.
I can see that happening too. But I like the lineup for Hardcore Justice. I'm definitely going to watch it. You have that title match.
Yep.
Did they announce AJ versus Aries in a ladder match?
They announced a few matches, but I don't.
I'm pretty sure it's AJ Styles versus Austin Aries a ladder match. It's gonna be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. And then they're doing the big was it 5-on-5 Aces and Eights of the Mafia?
Yes,
and the
loser is gone from the company.
Right.
Whoever
Kurt
gets
Angle will
pinned.
not be there because of course he's in rehab now. So maybe he'll. I don't know. Maybe they'll have him come in and lose, or maybe they'll have him be taken out before the match starts, or who knows what will happen there.
Right.
I mean, maybe someone could fill in for him. That's a chance to give someone a big rub. If there's an empty spot on the Mafia team, if you have someone unexpected take over,
right?
Maybe you have Abyss come back. Maybe you have I don't know.
I'm trying to find the lineup for Hardcore Justice, but because it's a TV show now, it's like impossible. Look, it's not under.
Go to the main page, like the front page. I mean, it's just they'll show it like in the slideshow. I think there's only matches, and there's probably a knockouts match too. All right, well we covered it pretty much.
I hate their website, man. I really do. You can't find anything on the Impact website.
Yeah.
Here, new matches added. Here we go. I think I found it.
I'm sure Jeff has a match,
and by the way, it's the Chris Sabin Bully Ray match is a steel cage match. They announced that because they said they didn't want outside interference from Aces and Eights, so it's a steel cage match.
Yeah, I think if you don't watch it, check it out if you like wrestling. they definitely, with these hardcore matches, with these different stipulations, the ladder match, they definitely tend to do more than WWE does with that stuff. So I think it'll be an entertaining show. I mean, you might be pissed off at some of the outcomes and some of the booking. Hulk Hogan will be all over there being an idiot. But
it won't even load. Look, it's not even fucking loading.
All right, we're done.
Yeah, I think we're done because look, I can't even get the page. Their website is so shit; it doesn't even load. Look, I can't even get the page to fucking load to get to the matches announced here.
Don't worry about it.
All right, so Hardcore Justice this Thursday coming up. All right, and then a week from tomorrow is SummerSlam. So what we're going to do, which we're going to announce right now, we talked about it a little last week. Next week, for our co-op, we're going to simulate all the SummerSlam matches in WWE 13, okay? And, of course, depending on how long that takes, maybe we'll do some more other stuff, too. But we want, I don't know, last time it took a while, because remember, we did a lot of matches. It was like eight matches, I think, we simulated. So it took quite some time. So depending on how long that takes, we may be doing more co-op, if not. But that's definitely coming up next week. So if you like the WWE pay-per-view simulations, we'll have a live stream of it. Again, it's kind of like a full simulated pay-per-view because we have commercial breaks and stuff between the matches. It's literally like watching the real show.
Which is really piss breaks for us.
And last month,
yes,
the results of our simulated matches, oddly enough, were correct. Even the weird one, when Randy Orton accidentally, through a glitch, won the Money in the Bank.
Oh, he did win.
Then he won on the real pay-per-view. Sandow, which we didn't think was had a chance.
John Cena.
It was weird. It was like everything we did in The Sims were true. So the question is, will this happen again this month? Where we simulated, oddly enough, it turns out to be what really happens. So, yeah, we'll see next week what happens with the simulations. Will they actually be ringing true to what actually happens on the pay-per-view or not? So, all right. So that's it, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Smark, guys. Have a fun week. We'll see you next week with the final lead into SummerSlam, the results of Hardcore Justice, the simulated pay-per-view. A lot of stuff happening this week. It's going to be fun. And we thank you, as always, for joining us here on Smart Guys, our ongoing pro wrestling commentary show. So thanks a lot. Have a good day. See you later.
Bye.